I thought it was a really, interesting casting, and I love her as an actress. I think she's great. So we actually spend more time on the set not working than we did working, which was a lot of fun. But I wish we had more scenes together. And she's a great actress to have hunt you down and try and kill you. He's a bit of a greatest hits version for me. I mean, he's almost like a combination of a lot of great directors I've worked with in terms of his style of directing. He's very clear on what he wants, but at the same time really wants, something from you, and he's happy to explore new ideas. He's very relaxed. He likes to play music on the set to sort of, set a kind of a tone for everyone working on the set that day, and it's just really nice. It's a really nice way to work, and he's very smart, and he's very able to communicate, what the scene's about and what he wants. Early on was that he hates seeing a lot of cuts in fights, and which I do too, because quite often you work really hard on these sequences and you can do them from start to finish, and then you see the film and it's cut up into 120 shots in 30 seconds, and in the end it didn't really matter if it was you or not. But in this film it's the exact opposite. He warned me straight up that there'd be long sequences where he wouldn't even put in a cut, so I was like, oh yeah. It was a I guess difficult balance between the two characters of Eric and Hanna, because as her father, we have to believe that there is some kind of traditional fathering, even though he's a very cut off emotionally person. So there is this kind of traditional fatherly element to him in being a protector and a teacher, but at the same time he's really preparing her for battle. So it's a combination of being a father and being a drill sergeant, and preparing her physically and mentally for what lies ahead. So this is a really heightened version of every parent's nightmare when your kid goes off to into the world for the first time. But in this case, she's going out in the world to kill. So she's in incredible danger.
I'd heard that this was happening, and Joe wanted to send me the script, and I read the script, and it was the most terrifying 30 pages of any script I'd ever read in my life. And my partner Andrew said I'd never had a reaction like it, and then I said, but I can't do it, because I'm working at the theatre company, I've got 3 children, and how's this going to work? And then because of the fact that they had to go to various different locations to shoot things, it became possible, and I was so pleased. And it was great to start talking to Joe about something that was actually going to, in a strange way, I haven't said this to Joe, but I keep thinking it's this strange fairy tale twisted take on Kramer versus Kramer, with Hanna in between Eric and Marissa, come to mommy, so it's been a fantastic thing to play, because there's a heightened quality to the scenes. She's remarkable. And I could not have conceived of doing what she's doing as a 16-year-old. She's incredibly self-possessed and unaffected, and I think as a result, she's obviously been brought up brilliantly by her parents, but she's just able to connect with things in a really unique way. She's sort of obviously part of her generation and part of the popular culture that's formed all of the people from her generation, but she's able to draw from it selectively. And it takes a rare spirit and intelligence to do that. And also she's the most exquisite beauty.
He's a slightly aging clubber in his appearance. Thinning hair, still peroxiding it like it's 1982, and wearing a bit of eyeliner like he's, Steve Strange has just asked him to go to the Camden Palais with Boy George for the evening. And he's a nasty piece of work, really. Ostensibly, it's a thriller about a girl who's produced by a CIA program, genetically modified to make her brilliant at fighting, and has become a dirty secret of the CIA, and they need to get rid of that secret. But in our telling of it, and Joe's interest in it, is as a coming-of-age story about an adolescent girl trying to make her way in the world.
Ever remember seeing a film like that or reading a film like that, and I just really loved the relationship between Sophie and Hannah. It was like if their relationship was like everything else was like a massive big concrete slab, and then they're just like two little flowers in the middle.
In terms of the martial arts, we kind of looked at Hanna being a very centred character, having a very strong core, having a very kind of good balance, never moving when she didn't need to move. Everything was extremely poised, and that, in a way, was the first step to discovering how to portray Hanna as a character emotionally too. She's full of optimism and hope and excitement about, you know, seeing the world. She thinks it's all going to be glorious and happy, and that people are all going to love her and be kind, and there's going to be music everywhere, and princes falling in love with her, and all of this stuff. And what she encounters is a world that actually is full of wonder and beauty, but also cruelty and potential violence. My job is to present something for the audience to project their own emotions onto, and for them to invest their own imaginations with, and you know, there's a certain amount of participation of the imagination that I hope is required from audiences of all my films. With Ed and Tom, everything is created in their studio. There's no live music in it at all. It's an entirely electric score, and he just has these banks of synthesizers, some of them dating kind of back many decades, and they're just these weird machines, and he creates these weird sounds, and it's playtime. It's really good fun.
For Joe, he said, when I think about my characters, I imagine what it's like to dress a puppet. He said, so Marissa is a witch, and of course witches have red hair and wear green. And Eric is a woodsman, and Hanna is the holy fool. Hanna is an angel. Hanna is a pure soul who is sent on this journey. So we knew that we were in for a really different filmic experience, a different storytelling experience, because we already had a different coming-of-age, stranger in a strange land thriller. And now we were going to tell that story with the singular vision of a very gifted man looking at it through the prism of a fairy tale. I thought this is an opportunity to see a young person find a way to be both supremely confident, a young woman that can stand in the road and meet people as equals, even as she is an innocent. She's unfettered by all of our modern ills and unaware of herself and her appearance and all of the typical female foibles and flaws. She has a genuine approach when she meets people. She meets them honestly and openly. If someone is an enemy, she is more than capable of standing her ground. She's learning as she goes. She's a pure soul. Always had certain sketches and ideas in the film the whole time. So we were always thinking in terms of the Chemical Brother music. And let's just say, when it comes to the escape themes and our action scenes, it's thumping, rocking music. It's fantastic to watch an audience. I haven't been in an audience yet where, even with other action thriller, where you turn around and you kind of look this way and you see everybody's going. I mean, it rocks. The music is spectacular. It was the last surprise of a surprising journey of Joe Wright's storytelling.